Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's B. Avery here for another episode of Just My Opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And with this one right here, we are talking Lovecraft Country Season 1, Episode 5, titled Strange Case. And my goodness gracious, guys, this has to be by far, in my humble opinion, the best episodes so far through 1 through 5. I mean, this show just keeps getting better and better and better and better. There were so many things that happened in this episode, so many things we have to talk about, so many things that were revealed and we just have to unpack, and I cannot wait to get into it. But let me go ahead and warn you, this is going to be a spoiler recap. So if you have not seen episode 5, I strongly suggest you press pause, go watch the episode, come back, and then subscribe to the channel first, and then watch all of this spoilery goodness, because I'm going to spoil this episode up, down, left, right, in, and out, as if you've already seen it. You have been warned. And if this is your first time finding me, I do weekly recaps, movie reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, respond to entertainment news, and just anything I think is cool. So let's go ahead and get into this episode of Strange Case, because like I said, I freaking absolutely loved it. But let me tell you what it's about first. After making a devil's bargain with William, Ruby steps into the charmed shoes of a white woman, but a transformation only fortifies her resentment of the racial divide. A betrayal by Montrose unleashes Atticus's pent-up rage, leaving Letty deeply disturbed and sending Montrose into the comforting arms of his secret lover. So before I dive into the episode, I just want to go ahead and then clean up the house just a little bit, because some of you are still commenting about this, and I made a couple of mistakes just last week when I was talking about the Goonies. That came out in 1985 and not 1995, so my bad. I stand corrected. It's funny, right before I hit record, I actually looked it up to make sure, like, okay, what year did this come out? I'm pretty sure it was the 80s, but for some reason when I was talking, I still said 1995, so my bad there. Also, about the comment that I made, I believe in episode 3, about was Letty or was Tree lying, or who was telling the truth about her being a virgin or not. Some of you guys are still really upset about me, and I think you misunderstood. When I first saw these episodes, I saw episodes 1 through 5 initially all at one time, so I just wasn't able to break it down. So when I was doing episode 3 again, when I posed that question, I guess I was just trying to troll you guys to make you think or challenge you. But when I was remembering, I asked that question remembering episode 4, as in Letty was confirming that they slept together in high school, but I remembered it the wrong way. She was being sarcastic. And so I wasn't trying to, when the guys lie on their dick all the time, it's despicable to me. It really is. I don't like it. I'm usually if a guy does that, I'm kind of like, okay, why are you just telling me who this person is that you sleep with? I didn't even ask. It'd be different if I asked, but you're just volunteering information. So I don't like that anyway. And so, I just wanted to go ahead and clear that up, because some of you guys were really upset. I just remembered episode 4 the wrong way, and I was just trying to pose a question. But moving on right now to episode 5, Strange Case, which I thought was just absolutely outstanding. Ruby wakes up as a white woman. Now, in the past episode, she was in the bar. William was buying her drinks, trying to put his mag down. They go back to his crib. They end up having sex on the stairs. He's just like, look, I can change your life. And she's talking about white privilege and, what if I could do this and if I was in your shoes, etc. But she gets that wish, this gives a new definition to the saying, be careful what you ask for, because she literally woke up with what she asked for and she didn't know what to do with herself. I mean, nobody would. I mean, I would not know what to do if I woke up as a white woman, you know what I'm saying? A white person, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'd be scared out of my freaking mind. Like, okay, what is going on? She looking all in the mirror telling me, wake up, Ruby. Wake up, Ruby. I feel you, my sister. I really do. I mean, that is just a freaky situation that I don't want to be in. You know what I'm saying? And so I was really feeling the performance there. But it's just, this just goes to show just how disgusting the mindset of the people are. As she's walking through town, everybody's staring at her, and then she bumps into the black boy. I mean, the dude didn't do anything wrong. He just walked down the street. Cops see they see this altercation, this so-called confrontation, and they just assume that the black boy is the rapist, is the animal. Just like, what did you do to her? Did you molest her? And just, about to beat him to death, in front of everybody, and. It was a very sad scene. I hate that, my people had to go through that and still go through that today. But I do appreciate the show for, just showing, just how ugly this country, I was going to say was, but no, still is today. Because pretty much nothing has changed. But, just that assumption right there, it's just like really sickening, and it just turns my stomach. And also, this is kind of sad too, is because like as she's being taken back to the house, she realizes where she's going, and she's like, wait a minute, look, I don't want to go back here. Okay, this is not my home. This man did something to me, and the police aren't listening. They're just like, yeah, ma'am, whatever. Your husband told us a story that you didn't take your pills, and they're talking this metamorphosis, and butterflies and caterpillars, and it's just really sad. That's just kind of like symbolic to me of just like how, just in general, and not just white women, but women in general, how their complaints, how their cries just fall on deaf ears. They can just be screaming at the top of their lungs on a mountaintop, on a rooftop, help me, help me, help me, I'm suffering, I'm dying. I don't, you're not listening. Yeah. We hear you. We know how to fix you. We're taking you there. Relax, woman, relax, Now, given the, as a black man in my position in this country, I'm not just saying that I just feel just sorry for a bunch of white women out there, because during this time, a lot of them were evil too, but I'm not one person that thinks that all people are evil, etc. I'm just speaking of like, women in general, that really did kind of stand out and bother me. But I while this was the best episode so far in this season, I also feel that like it was the most disgusting. It was just gore, grotesque crap all over the place. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is nasty. And we see this in the next scene right here as Ruby is going through it, as she's transforming back into her normal self. William has the tarp out there, and he just stabs her in the chest and opens her up. And that's just gruesome right there. I don't know if I could have handled this if it was the reverse. What if he stabbed the black body of Ruby, and as she was transitioning the other way? That would have been too much for me, seeing a white man stab a black woman in the chest like that. So I don't know if they made a conscious decision not to do that, but I'm really glad with the decision that they did make, because I admittedly that just would have been too much. Now, the next scene right here, or the cliffhanger that they left us on last week, was Montrose killing Yamika. Was it? I forgot her name. Is it Yamika? Yamaha. Katuri, the native Indian woman that could translate the names. He kills her, and like I'm pretty sure everybody's like, "What the hell, man? What are you doing? Whose side are you on? You guys just risked your life going, do all these underground journey to the center of the earth caves, getting the book of names and all this. You almost died, and some of the characters have died in the series already, and then you're just gonna throw away all of our work for and killing this woman and get rid of the pages." Thank goodness gracious that Letty took the pictures, but Atticus just wasn't happening. As soon as Montrose was like, "I let her go" or whatever, he just went in and just started wailing on him, and that was pretty brutal. He was just leaving them haymakers on his face, and Letty wasn't having it. And Atticus, as I was reading the synopsis, this is that pent up anger that he had, built up or whatever. Now, later on in the episode where Letty and Atticus Tick were having a very intimate scene in the bathtub, he was just saying, or maybe it was, no, actually that, I'll come back to that because there was a lot of there was just a lot of intimacy in this whole episode. I think that's one of the reasons why I like it, but I don't want to jump too far ahead. But I know at one point in the episode, he was just like, "Look, my father used to beat me, and I didn't know I had that anger in me, and it came out, when I was over in the war." And I like that Letty is just able to calm him down. Also, like Letty, seriously, right now, she's just like my favorite character. her performance in this whole series is like, whoa. And she does it again in this episode too, because as Tick is like, get the F off me, and pushes everybody, he goes down there and is like, lady, did you take the pictures of the pages? If you took the pictures, give them to me. And she's like, bro, you need to calm down or whatever. And he's like, give me the pages. And then she just like steps up like and just start like this, like, bruh, you not just gonna talk to me that way. Calm your ass down. That is exactly what she said without even saying words. And it was just like so powerful. And I was just like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? I was turned on by that because look, like look, a lot of you women know this, but don't no man want no woman that he can just talk to any kind of way and like just push them around, you know. Like a man don't want a woman just with no attitude that just be popping off at the mouth, but at the same time a man does like a little attitude, like if it's warranted. And in this case it was, you know what I'm saying? Because she didn't do nothing wrong. She trying to be there for you. You know, she know you're going through stuff. You know, she know you're angry, rightfully so. But at the same time, you're not just gonna be screaming at her at the top of her lung. Like she's just not having that. I mean, like I think I was I think I was watching one of Lamont's videos or whatever. And he was talking about Lady too, and he was like, Lady is like a definite textbook definition of like a down ass chick or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She just down for the cause. And you just don't need to be just screaming at women like that. I mean, I understand some, you know, they're not in a relationship right now, and relationships, you know, people fight and things get heated and you can have arguments and passion. You know, I get that, you know, but at the same time, you just can't be screaming at people just all willy nilly. You know, we're not, this is not the standard. You know, this is going to be the exception because y'all dealing with white supremacist wizards and things of that nature. So I understand, but I'm just really, really feeling Lady right here. She had that bat in your hand. It's like, listen, bro, I went up against these white supremacist windows and these bricks on these, you know, I'll go upside your head too if you just screaming like a damn fool in my house. I know you mad, but you need to calm your ass down, okay? You just, you know, I keep reiterating this point, but I was just like, Lady, good job, my sister. Yes, I'm loving all this, ma'am. I am loving all. I'm loving all of this right here. Now, we cut back over to William and Ruby in bed, and he's trying to explain the whole process to her and things of that nature. William, he just straight up white supremacist coming out right now. Just like, yes, I have these ideas, theoretical. You know, a butterfly, no, a caterpillar lives a full life before it goes into its cocoon, and then it comes out mature and does this and yada yada, all that crap. And I wanted to take this same principle and apply it to human beings. And this is like, this is disgusting, bro. And I mean, okay, yeah, if you want to do that to people that volunteer or something, okay, that's fine. They volunteer for it, but. Or I guess I can't come to any conclusions because I don't know. Well, no, he's evil because he was working with Hiram. So he was talking about, yes, and then there was like an estranged doctor with these experiments named Hiram Epstein he is the ghost from the Warthorpe house, the Warthorpe house. And they started working together. And he was talking about how they, you know, it was out theoretical and they was building portals and stuff. And that reminds me again, because when I was talking about episode 4, I was like, they drove to Boston, which is 15 hours away from Chicago. And I know they're dealing with the magic, but so how did they end up back at the house? And, you know, a lot of y'all was like, yeah, this is magic, you know, underground portals and things of that nature. But I remember in episode 3, when they was showing the elevator going down, I think somebody commented this on one of my videos. It's like, yeah, remember they were showing those magical glyphs shining on the walls or whatever. And so this is just, you know, this is William explaining this to Ruby, just how all of this works or whatever. And she's like, you know, magic exists. And she's like, yeah. And, you know, he gives her free will and she takes the potion again, goes out, just starts experimenting, you know, this whiteness or whatever. And it's just an experience that, you know, she's never had before. Now, I want to pose a question to you guys. If you had a chance to be white for, you know, a short amount of time to experience it the way Ruby did, would you do it? You know, me personally, I would say yes. I would not, depending on what reasons I would use it for. Let's look at the film The Banker with Samuel Jackson and Anthony Mackie that debuted earlier this year on Apple Plus TV. For those reasons, how they're trying to, you know, get intel, you know, infiltrate and, you know, so they can get loans and do all of this stuff and create businesses, you know, for that reason, yeah, instead of using a white boy like they did in the film, they can just use it for themselves. But if they just want to turn white, like, oh God, I hate being black, I want to be white. No, hell no. No, no, no. I don't want nothing to do with that. Yeah, being black is hard, but there's nothing in this world. There's no amount of money that could be given to me that would want me to not be black no more. So, but I want to ask you guys: is this something that y'all would do? Would y'all take the magical potion to be a white person for a set amount of time, especially given Ruby's position? I just don't blame her. She's living in it's racism everywhere. You know what I'm saying? She's very intelligent. She's very smart. She's very attractive. She's doing everything she can to win, and she just can't win. And it sucks because later on in the episode, she's like, I don't know if it's more difficult to be a black woman, a black person, or no, she said a colored or a woman. When she was talking to William in the bathtub, and that's just, I don't know. Well, one of the things that stood out to me in the episode the most. And now, one of the next scenes right here is one that I really like right here. With Tick and Letty, they're coming together, and she's asking, "Is he okay?" and all this stuff. She's really trying to be there for him, and she's about to walk away, and he like grabs her. And I like young men out there, don't just be grabbing the women, okay, if you're trying to get their attention. And this show, these two characters have a rapport. They know each other. Don't just be grabbing strangers. Just when women don't like that. Just talking to my young man real quick. But I like the fact that he apologized and he thanked her or whatever. And, they're opening up, and she was just like, look, seeing you like this, it scares me, bro. I care about you, but you make me nervous. I like the communication between the characters. They open it up, talking about how they feel. I love all of that. And he's like, please don't be scared of me, And then they're having like a really intimate moment, and he pulls her in. And, like the way that she looked at him just was like so beautiful. It was just like a look of like, look, if you take care of me, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you if you take care of me. And they proceed to have sex. And it was a nice, great sex scene. Ruby is fine as hell. I mean, she was on top and looking really good, straddling him on whatever the hell that he was sitting on. And so big ups to that right there. I'm really glad that they was able to get together again from that little quickie that they had back during the house party, in episode 3. And, he left her crying and stuff like that. And so, and later on in the episode, we find out that, they really do love each other. I know I'm kind of jumping ahead right now. Atticus brings up his old girl from Korea, Jamie Chung, whose name is Jaya. He was like, hey, I had something back in the day, but it ended kind of weird. And she was like, well, did you love her? He was like, man, I don't even know. I don't even know what love is. This is just a strange feeling to me. I forgot exactly what he said, but it was powerful. And she was like, yeah, I didn't really think love was anything special anyway. My mom fell in and out of love every 2 seconds or every 2 days. And then my sister was just like that. I'm assuming she's talking about Ruby. So she's saying that, her mom was promiscuous, but so was Ruby as well. And I never got a hint of that other than, her sleeping with William on the first night, but I'm not just gonna write that off and just, whatever, man. People do what they do. It doesn't define them their entire life or whatever, but I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. But lady was just like, I really wanted, she didn't want to be that way, basically. She was just saying that she really wanted her first time to be with somebody that she cared about. And so that just kind of goes to show like why she was just that much more emotional after their first time when they was on the sink, but I'm just, that just, it just shines more light on the episode. And I'm really glad that they was able to get together doing this passionate scene right here because, I just thought it was beautiful that they was able to be together. Now, Ruby is now in the bathtub and she's saying, like, why me? And I think it's a very fair question to ask. And William proceeds and serenading her with good words and all that stuff. But I really do like the dialogue that they had right here. She's, just really just trying to figure out what his game is. And, William is full of games, but, to be honest with you, he is quite honest with her at this point in time. Lets her know that, hey, I'm going to need a favor. It's not going to be a big favor. And she's like, it depends on what kind of favor it is, just, people really just don't go handing out nice things without wanting something back. And so, I understand her mindset and everything there. Now, coming up next is a lot of you guessed this and was, just kind of putting pieces together like, hey, I think that Montrose may be gay. It turns out that he is. It turns out that him and Sammy have some type of relationship going on. Some type of relationship. Of course they do. I don't know how, they have their sex scene, and then later on in the episode when they're at the club in the back, Montrose, he just is really uncomfortable. You can tell that he doesn't want to be there. He was reluctant when they engaged, and I don't know. It just seemed like I was just kind of saying to myself, okay, like, if you're in this state of mind and you don't want to do it, like, why are you doing it? Are you ashamed? I mean, are you just there because, you just got your butt whooped by your son and, he almost killed you? I mean, in the synopsis, that's what says that, it pushed Montrose away and over to Sammy. This also goes back to, I think, episode 4 or last week where Tree was saying, oh, yeah, ever since you've been gone, I've noticed that you and that your dad and Sammy have been spending some time together. And so, he's reluctant during the act. He's reluctant when they're backstage with all the other gay men or trans men. I don't know how to properly describe it. But they're back there, and he's just like, they're asking these questions. Are y'all really together or not? And they're like, oh man, they haven't even locked lips yet. But later on in the episode, Montrose is just out there on the dance floor, and Sammy's dancing with him, and just something comes over him, and he just feels liberated. He feels free. And I can appreciate that. I mean, live your life. I know this is 1955 Jim Crow America, and that type of lifestyle, it's barely accepted today. So 60, 70 years ago, it's pretty much not accepted at all. But, he's living in this truth now. He's happy. I mean, as long as he's happy, I'm happy. People can, whether you agree with it or not, people can live whatever life they want. And we're going to see how that plays out, in the next episode. But my whole thing was just like, I'm just kind of curious on why he's very reluctant on that. But here's where things really start getting juicy in the episode for me, because Ruby is like, man, I'm really about to take advantage of this white privilege, this white power that is at my disposal right here. And she goes up and she meets Tamara. Now, a lot of you, unless I missed a line of dialogue here, I saw a lot of people in the comment section, not just in my videos, but also E-Man's review as well, that, she figured out right here that the reason why she wasn't hired for the job in Marshall's is because she was overweight. And that's just, that's unfortunate. Ruby is very smart, and she's very intelligent. She has street smarts as well. She put in the work, has a high school diploma at this time, when Tamara only has a 7th grade education, never took any accounting courses, didn't even know they're available. But Ruby took it in stride. Now, I didn't put it together that she didn't get hired because of her weight. I saw somebody else comment on that, so you can comment on that too. But it was kind of funny to me. Ruby didn't just like, anybody would be a little disappointed. Like, really, I don't put on all this work. You didn't do anything, and the only hate or shade that she threw was kind of just put that lotion thing, the lotion bottle over there, like, oh, your hands are ashy. And there probably wasn't ashy at all, but she just had to just throw in like a little jab in there somewhere. I thought that was very, very funny. I laughed my ass off. But she's really, at this point in time, she's really able to see what she can use this white privilege for. They're downstairs, I guess in the basement somewhere, or I'm finna say the game room. I can't think of what is it, the break room, at work, and they're dancing this and that, and you have these hips and have all this, and I like the fact, doing this also, I don't think I mentioned this, I like the fact that Ruby is speaking up for black people. Like earlier on when they was talking to her boss, how do you feel about color? She was like, well, as long as they're working hard and they're qualified, I don't see why they can't take advantage of all the other white privileges that we take advantage of. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. And Ruby's kind of said something to the same effect when she was with her other coworkers when they was in the break room. But we got this dumbass white supremacist woman talking about, of course she's not qualified. She's a Negro or whatever, and that really did affect Ruby. And I like how she handled I like how she handled herself, in the situation. No, they wouldn't have guessed that magic existed anyway, and she's infiltrating somebody. Oh yeah, and let me not forget this. Remember episode 2. This is the same image of the white woman that was in episode 2 or whatever, that was guarding the tower that had Montross at the bottom of it, that Letty knocked out with the gun or the broom or whatever, because the white woman held the shotguns. I forgot to mention that. This is the same. At first I was like, is that the same white woman? But I believe it is. So I don't know if she's dead now or cloned, or I don't know how that works. Maybe they will explain that in future episodes, but that was interesting to me too. But this other white supremacist down there, I was just like, oh my God, let's go down to the jungle. It shouldn't say jungle, but let's go down to the south side. It'll be like a safari. Just like, really? Wow, black people are just like these animals to you, and just, you want to go job by, oh, look, that one has big hair. That one has small hair. Shut the hell up. You're stupid. But all races are stupid. But this is like a worse nightmare for Tamara, man. I really feel sorry for her. She's like, I'm not trying to go to the club with my people, with y'all. She's like, hey, later on, hey, let's do the bunny hop or whatever, and I'm just like, oh Lord, I just hope that I am never ever in a situation like that. Please, please, please. But actually I kind of skipped a part. William shows up at the job. He does give Ruby the dress, and she was like, oh, the devil finally revealing what deal I made with him or whatever. And, she wants him to go. He wants her. Well, actually she, because William is Christina and Christina is William, but we haven't got there yet. But you've seen the episode, so you know this. But she wants her to infiltrate, as a waitress, to go and, mess up Lancaster or whatever. Yeah, let me talk about that real quick. What's up with Lancaster, man? He's taking this. I don't think I even noticed this. Somebody was talking to me about this, and you know who you are. It's like, what's up with Lancaster? He took off of his shirt. He took off his shirt, and he has all these markings all over his body and disfigurements and things like that. I don't know what's going on. I don't like the cat. I hope he dies. He's evil. But I don't know who is this person in the closet. Like, I don't know who this person is. I guess it was smart to hide in there. He's already making noise. So if you make noise in there, Ruby, while you was in there, they're just going to think that it's the person that they already have in the closet. But, that's just, that's just horrible. And so, like, the next scene right here is where, like, Ruby is kind of like busting out at the seams. She's going off on Tamara. It was funny as hell, because she's like, you gotta be, and it was a real ass scene right here, because it's like, look, if you're a black person, black man, black child, black woman in America, you got to work 50 times as hard. You know what I'm saying? If they got a 4.0 GPA, you got to have a 10.0 GPA. Y'all get my point. Okay, you get my point. You got to be better. You got to be better than this because you're black and da-da-da. And, these white people here, they this, they that, and you would not believe just like what type of shit they have up their sleeve. And it was funny because we're seeing this white woman who we know is Ruby, but you can really see the blackness coming out of her. I thought they did that. I thought they did that very, very well. It was very effective and convincing and funny and hilarious at the same time, because it was double layer, triple layer. That's just the case in general, but in this specific point, they're dealing with not just white supremacists, but white supremacists with magical powers, and so it's just it gives a new definition to what she was saying right there. And that's when they like, hey, we're gonna go down to the south side later, and that's when they got to do the bunny hop thing. But here we go, guys. The absolute we're coming up to the part in the episode to where her boss is a perverted damn near rapist or whatever, trying to smell the cookie of Miss Tamara. Now, like, he was like, dude, like, come on, let me smell it or whatever. I heard you girls smell sweet down there. What's she supposed to just say, okay, and like open up? It's like, no, dude, like, and then you call her a nigger bitch, man. Like, no, man, you cannot be calling no women no nigger bitches, because what happens? You get a 6-inch heel stiletto up your ass. God dog, I'm gonna put dropping stuff because I could not wait to talk about this. Are you serious? This is like the best scene in all of television history. I did not know how this scene was going to play out right here. I was like, okay, wait a minute. We know this is Ruby. We know that you're not really just going to give him the goods. And I was a little worried at first. But man, the way she played him and led him up was like phenomenal. It was like perfection. And man, I was cheering the hell for her. Like, come on with the Ruby, my sister. That was like brilliant. She like, oh no, you're used to this. And the dude tried to put his hands on her ass. And she's like, nah, I'm not having that. Took the belt off, wrapped it around his neck, kicked him on the ground, and just shoved that thing up his ass like 7 times. And like, dude, like... It's like there's nothing at this time in particular, like there is nothing worse that can happen to you. And who are you going to tell? You can't tell nobody. I mean, seriously, I really have to give it to the writers right here, because what they did is they wrote a 1950s Jim Crow American story where we're dealing with racist white supremacists, to where a black woman, even a darker skinned black woman, can go up and talk shit to a white man and he can't do nothing at all. Bravo, writing team. Bravo. I mean, seriously, talk about what Ruby can do. Like, because William and Christina Williams was talking about what can you do when you're just completely unstoppable. She got the power now, especially with this white man. I would be going to his job every day just talking all types of shit like, hey, what's up, Mr. White Man? How you doing? And what is he going to say? Who is he going to tell? Nobody's going to believe him. I mean, seriously, I would get me some heels and tie strings on them and just start working them like some nunchucks. Like I would have so much power. Forget the potion. Hey, white man, you're going like, I would do it in front of people. Oh, you're going to let this black woman talk like this in front of you? He can't say nothing, That's all he can do. That's how he can do it. I will give me I will give me a year of supply of potions or whatever, and just pop up in this dude's life just at random times. Sometimes it's the white woman, sometimes it's Black Ruby, sometimes it's the white woman, sometimes it's Black Ruby, and just mess him up mentally to where he is just under my toe for the rest of his days. He is gonna learn. His children are gonna learn, and he probably Trump granddaddy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That no, you can't be calling nobody no N-word, B-words. Super double bad. No, it's not going down like that, or you're gonna get a heel up your ass and you can't do nothing about it. You can't complain about it. Oh, she transformed, a white woman transformed into a black woman. Okay, you're freaking nuts. Marshall's is going out of business. I'm out of here. But nah, man, that right there was a killer ass scene. I freaking loved it. I loved it. Now, I spoke about this briefly earlier, but I just have to say it again. The scene to where Tick, Atticus, and Letty were in the bathtub. That was beautiful. I love the intimacy right there. I mean, I wouldn't have complained, of course, if they had sex again, but I'm just glad that they didn't, because it was just like a real, just eye to eye, heart to heart, soul to soul moment, between them. And she was just like, nah, hold on, bruh. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? I thought we was headed somewhere, and then I found out randomly that you finna go over to back to Florida, and that's when he brought up GI and talking about it was over and all that. But he's like, no, this is real, and I really just like how they really opened up to each other right there. I hope that he's not playing her. I really hope that his relationship with Gia is over with. And I really like, I said it before, like him just saying that he really didn't have any good examples of love. But I'm really loving these two characters right here, especially Letty, because I just gotta say it again, when she just like she just, but you gonna be, she didn't say it, but it would just everything in her stance, her position, like, you're not just gonna be talking to me like that, bro. I understand you're mad, but I got this bat in my hand. So Letty, you're really coming through right now. You're my favorite character of the show. Jonathan Majors, you up there too, man. But later on, I think I left a part out real quick. Yes, that is when I did leave this part out. This is when they were down there developing the photos, and Tick was having the nightmares or whatever. He was having the nightmares of, I guess, his great-great-grandmother or something, of Hannah. And, that was a hellish nightmare right there, just to be on fire and you can't even move. But that's when Tick revealed to Letty that, hey, Montross didn't just let the Native American woman go. the pages are not the only thing that he got rid of or whatever. And lady just wasn't able to handle it at the time. She thought that they was all being possessed, and I could see the argument coming from both sides in this scene right here, because he's like, look, it depends on what we're trying to do with it. It's not like we went seeking this. My father was kidnapped. I was trying to go rescue him, and that's when we fell into all these magical white supremacists. They're trying to do this. I'm a blood relative. Why not take this so we can protect ourselves? I have no problem with that. But the line that she delivered right next after that was nice too. Well, look what your father did when he said that he was trying to do the same thing and protect you. So we have boundaries. There are lines that we don't need to cross, and I'm very, very glad that they acknowledged that right there. And so, yeah, that was a very important point that I really wanted to make sure that I didn't leave out, and I'm glad I remember it. But going back towards the end of the episode is where Tick is trying to decipher the codes, and he puts something together, and he calls Korea, that long 27 syllable number, and hits up Jaya again from the very beginning, and he's freaking out. He's like, how did you know? And she's like, you should have listened. And he's like, what are you? And then we saw something down there that says die. And, they left us on another freaking cliffhanger. So we got to wait a week. And as far as screenings is concerned, guys, they only sent us episodes 1 through 5. So I literally have no idea what's going to happen next. And, that's fine with me. We can all anticipate together. But I don't know if you guys saw the promo. Looks like it's, well, you may not want to be spoiled, so I don't want to say it for you. But the promo is out there. You probably seen it, but you may not. So I don't want to spoil that for you. But guys, again, this was another fire episode. It was one of the best episodes of the series so far. I really loved it. Who is your favorite character so far? Who is your do you have a least favorite? What is your favorite part of the series? Just tell me all of your likes and dislikes, even of my review, reaction, recap, analysis. Let me know all of it. Just spoil it down below. But guys, that is just my opinion. Again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Let's help me reach 30,000 subscribers. Not 25, but 30,000 subscribers. And guys, again, I just want to thank you again so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget to always chase your dreams, because I'm chasing mine. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.